everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. I'm not sitting in my chair yet. Before October is over, I want to make sure that you are aware of the things that you will miss out on in October if you don't take advantage of them now. So one is, I think it's these. I should have gone to look. For my thank you gifts this month, these are two things that will be part of the online exclusives that will be available to you in early November. So I have several videos now that I'm getting ready to film using the new products, but I'm pretty sure it's these that are then one of my thank you gifts with purchase. Then the other thing, every month when you spend $50 with me, you get the tutorial bundle, and this is my project for the tutorial bundle for October. So you can purchase the bundle for $20, or if you spend $50 with me, then you get it for free. It is myself and other demonstrators from around the world. It's a really nice tutorial. It has all the measurements, lots of pictures, all kinds of stuff. Kits are 30% off, and you can also join my team. I don't know if this is going to show. You can join my team. Stampin' Up! Has a great starter kit promotion right now. So if you sign up, I think it's $99 for this starter kit. You never pay shipping and handling. You just pay tax on a starter kit. And normally when you spend the $99, you get to pick $125 of whatever you want to go in the kit. If you do it in October, you get to pick $155. And every time somebody joins my team for the first time, they get a welcome packet. Sometimes people come back, life gets in the way, they take a little break and they come back, they get a smaller welcome packet. But the first time, it's a really great welcome packet. And I always put one of my past classes in, so you can see all these past classes and clubs. So a perk of being on my team is that over on our team Facebook page, which means you have to have a Facebook page, you can see all of my past online classes. So all the tutorials for all my past classes, my Try It classes, my monthly card club, all the videos are there. So I often do a couple of extra packets. So there's all different classes in here for shipping issues, or if anything gets lost, or if the mail tears it up. And on occasion it does happen, very sad to say, but I always have then extras. So normally I throw in an extra one, and then you can go watch the how-to. Sometimes it may have, well, I was going to say this is a retired pack of paper, but this paper actually carried over. So this is a current paper, but the instructions are there and you can still use them. So if you join before the end of October, and I wouldn't wait till Halloween because lots of people wait till the last day, and if there's any issues and you don't get it taken care of, then you don't get the deal. But if you join my team in this time period, I'm going to stick 3. Because I need to get that box empty so I can start putting more recent ones in it. I've started doing less. After, a certain time in our recent history, the post office has gotten better. So I haven't needed as many spare packets. So there's fewer spare packets. But you'll probably get a class, try it class, maybe a regular class, and then a past club. And depending on how many, you see I have a lot. But if I would run out, then you may get... I have more clubs, I think, because I do that every month. So that is my extra special thing. So as a member of my team, you always get all the access to the videos, which is one of the big perks. And this is, I have maybe 3 more cards, including this one, coming up on my Christmas card series. And then we're going to kind of pivot. It may end up that there's a little bit of a break in between the Christmas cards to get the new online exclusives. And then we're going to hit the online exclusives and some Christmas gifts and packaging later in November. But here are some of my more current cards. If you've missed any of these tutorials, if you're still trying to figure out your Christmas card design. And then today I'm using Shepherd's Care. I'm actually using Shepherd's Care with Season of Elegance paper, and I just did a class for that. So if you did that class and you have those, you can easily replicate this card. Oh, and I should grab... hang on, this card. I just pulled some out of the front of my basket, but this one also posted recently, and it is an ode to Christmas stamps, as in postage stamps. So it's got real stamps and stamps. It's a double stamp. So I wanted to do another one and kind of take it a different direction. So I'm going to use Shepherd's Care, which is probably this and the Yuletide Village have been 2 of my favorite stamp sets in the current holiday catalog. And The great thing about them is that they're just stamps, so you can mix it with any shapes that you currently have. So for this one, I am going to, it's been a couple of days since I actually made this card, so I'm going to have a look at it. We have some pretty peacock paper for our base, and I can see under my other card that I've already made that the base on it is Misty Moonlight. But the nice thing about this is we're going to use some different colors together. And then I have some vanilla cardstock. So I have this little piece here, and then I have some gold, and then I have this piece and this piece. So here's the same size postage stamp that I did on the other. Now, the deer were photopolymer. This one is red rubber, so I'm going to stamp first. That way I can make sure my dies are on straight. If it's photopolymer, then you can kind of, it doesn't matter what order you go in. But we're going to stamp this, then we're going to put a seal here, and then another postage stamped it. Oh, wrong piece of paper. I was like, I cut that small, but it's there. So let's stamp first, so that way we'll be able to cut. And then here's the Season of Elegance paper. Oh, no, I'm confused. It's this month's Card Club paper. I told you it's been a couple of days since I made it. So this is the Regal Winter paper, and it was October Card Club. And I'm getting ready. In the next couple of days, I will have November's Card Club project ready for you to get your sneak peek of. So let's do our stamping. So I'm going to start with my big stamp. So I try to just kind of make them look, you know, when you buy the holiday stamps, the Christmas stamps from the post office, they often look kind of like a little bit painted, like they're not overly fancy, right? Because it's a postage stamp, unless it's one that has art on it. But this stamp stamps beautifully. The shepherd is just really, really pretty. I'm going to put it on here. Make sure you get everywhere. Look how pretty that is. I mean, you could just have that on your card, and that would be beautiful. So there's that. This is also very messy ink. And then I'm going to take this little one here, and I'm going to stamp again in Pretty Peacock, the Bethlehem. So we got that. And then I think that's all I did in the Pretty Peacock. I may not have. I may have to go back. Then I have Wild Wheat. So these are actually the colors in the Season of Elegance. I probably had flipped the paper over and chose the paper because I've been kind of working on several things at once and didn't flip it back over until I glued it on to realize that it was the different pack. But this is Wild Wheat. We're just going to add the star up here. And then that's all of that. Then let's get, I have Cheri Cobbler. That's going to go there. And for that, I'm going to grab this round one. Just put it here. So I have dies from the Postage dies, and the circle is, I think, from Sentiment. I don't remember. It's the one I think that, no, it's not. I don't know. I'll put it down below the video. But we have several circles that will work. We don't have as many current rectangles. The postage stamps are one of the only rectangles that we have right now, which I did not know because I made a couple of cards and then I had rectangles on them and I went to put them on the shopping list, and yeah, they're not in there. I try to keep up with my dies, but you know, sometimes there's a lot. So I'm going to stamp some stars on here. Oh, great. Look at my hand. We all do that, don't we? And yes, I just licked it off. It's not gone, but at least it's not going to get on my card. So I'm going to put stars on here, but I don't want the stars to overwhelm. And the way that they have designed this, I'm going to ink it once and then that's it. So then you can see how it kind of fits around. So do that one. And then around the star, like I don't want to be on top of anything, but I'm not going to re-ink it. I'm just going to go with however much Misty Moonlight got on here from the first inking. But it has all these little tips, so you can just kind of plink it in there and kind of fill it up. I don't want them down on the ground. So that looks pretty good. And then on this Bethlehem. Again, I'm going to lightly tap it on my ink pad. I don't want it to be super inky, but you can see, maybe you can see how it kind of fits right around Bethlehem. So that first time I'll get that. And then we'll just fill it in. And the lighter it goes, that kind of just gives some depth to it. So that's that. Then I'm going to grab the piece on Earth, and this is just going to kind of fill in, kind of like a postmark. So on my Bethlehem, I'm just going to add it. I don't want any of these to be perfect because like the kind of a cancel mark. Just kind of the collage it up cat here. And again, I'm not going to re-ink it until I've gotten all of this ink off. And then we'll grab my circle. I'm going to stamp it down here first. I'm barely touching it. Kind of like if you accidentally dropped your stamp on there, what it would do. So let's trim these out. These are the ones I'm going to use. So let me trim those out. All right, so these are cut out. Now I'm going to show you something that I added, a couple of little, I don't know, just fun embellishment kind of things that I added to two of these pieces. So the first is if you have take your pick tool, you can get this tip, which kind of gives a perforated line. And so I wanted this to look more like a realistic postage stamp. So you just take it. These are our stamping mats. It's designed, if you have a hard time getting a good image with your photopolymer and you put your stuff on top of this, it will make a huge difference. So I'm just going to lay this like right inside of where you would have the perforation marks. And you can hear it. If you go too hard, it will cut it off, but that's okay. We'll just glue it back on when we adhere it to the card. But it gives it that little extra. This would be really fun if you were going to frame something and you wanted it to look like a postage stamp, but you have to push hard enough that it cuts those in, but not so hard that you're going to separate it. You can use it as a cutter to separate it, and you can also do like pull-offs, like if you want to do a coupon or something on your card, then you can use it for that. Just add it down here. And I want this to look nice and vintage, so it doesn't matter. Our power's flipping. Honestly, I don't understand how you can live in the year 2024 and power is always an issue. It wasn't like that when I was a kid. At least I don't remember it, but all the time now, which it's bad when it turns off the computer, which I think it did on that one. Yeah, it's going to turn it off. I may have to get up because the alarm may go off. And when you have to reset the clocks. Or if it knocks out, you know, all your passwords that are saved everywhere, that's no fun either. So you can kind of see, it just kind of lifts it up. Right, here's where the first time the power blipped and I went a little crooked. So we have that. And then I'm going to take this, which I did use on the deer card. This kind of puts a little canceled mark. So I'm just going to lay it right here. And I'm going to send this back through my cut and emboss machine. And I'll show you what it looks like. And then I'm also going to lay it on the edge of my gold and put it on that. So you can see how it just adds the little bit of an impression. It doesn't actually cut anything. I can't believe I have to get this off my hand. Let me hold on just a second because it's going to drive me insane. So now we are going to, I haven't put shimmer to card for a minute, so get ready because over the next couple of cards there's going to be a few shimmered. Grab my scrap paper. This was also one that I just recently posted. My stuff's all over the place. A fun shaker card. So that may be the one that's posted right before this one. So my shimmer solution, I will link the video to show you how to use it. It is glycerin, and then this is a whole wink of Stella. I do more Stella in mine than you would need to, but I want it to show up on camera. And then I have, this is the same blending brush that I have been using since I started. You can see it has a little blue on it now. It's actually from this card, but it doesn't transfer over. And then I just keep this block here. So you just shake up the glycerin, the wink of Stella, and we'll add a little bit there. So it will smear the ink. That's how it has it on here. So you want to just kind of dab it on. And like I said, I have more Wink of Stella in mine that you might want to put on yours, but it's so you can see it a little bit better on camera. But it actually kind of also tones your paper when you let the ink, like I don't want it to run so much that my words get smeared. But I don't mind that it has that tinge then of the cherry cobbler. Then over here, I'm just gonna do where the stars are. And then just tap a little bit on the Bethlehem, but I'm not gonna do down underneath. It kind of helps the ground look like it's a different color. Then grab this. And on this thing, I'm going to smear around. If you let your card all the way dry, then it will smear less, but you can see because this is the first thing I stamped and I haven't done anything. I fast forwarded the bit of me cutting stuff out, or I will when I post this. But I'm doing it in real time. And then I just took a little bit. I wanted his headdress. I don't want it to be shiny because, you know, we're not about the glitzy shepherds. But it kind of just gave it a little bit of that tone on tone color. And then I'm making sure I leave the sheep. And then I'm going to grab this piece. And look how pretty it is on here. Whoops. And it doesn't have to be everywhere on here because most of this is going to end up getting covered. But it's so pretty. The shimmer. It's when on the vanilla and on white, when it dries, it feels like our old shimmer cardstock. On this, it's just beautiful. We just have to put this together. So I'm going to use the ribbon that's this is part of the Autumn Splendor, I think. Which also, if you're in Card Club, you have this. So the first thing I'm going to do is put it here. It's very pretty ribbon. Flip this over and I'm just going to put my adhesive on here because once we have this piece of ribbon on, we can stick it to the card. I'm going to tuck it around. I don't want to put any adhesive on the top because this will let me tie my bow once everything's on here. Or not. I'm not tying a bow. So that will hold it. Make sure I got it in there. And then I cut this a full 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 because it's beautiful. If you want to get more cards out of one piece of 12 by 12 paper, then do it 4 by 5 1/4 and just have a little bit of a border. So this is going to go right here. And because I have this piece where it's almost cut through, I'm going to make sure I put my adhesive on that. That'll hold it together. Now, the seal doesn't stick great before the glycerin's dry, so we'll hope for the best when I put this on here. Otherwise, I'll have to switch to some glue. I'm going to slide this right under so you can still see that postage stamp line. But so not too much of my shepherd gets covered up. And then we'll see if that's gonna stick. And then we're gonna grab this little piece. So I'm just doing kind of a collage. And we'll see if this, I'm gonna put some adhesive there. If you just wait till yours dries, then it's not a problem. Pop that on there, and then I'm gonna get some dimensionals. Just stick a couple in here. Again, maybe an issue. I may pick the card up and half the stuff may fall off, but I've got the other one. And just put this here. There's no way to add it really. It's a little bit better on this one, but I wanted these to kind of overlap. So you just have to sacrifice a little bit of the lamb's head, but there's another lamb and you can tell he's a shepherd. And I'm going to grab this piece. This is why I only stuck it to the back. And I don't want a bow. I want the ribbon, and I think this ribbon looks like it could be part of a shepherd's attire. So it matches, but I don't want a bow on it because to me it's not really a bowy card. And just tie a knot. I want these to be short. It gives some nice texture to your card. And then if you were in Card Club this month, these were our embellishments. So I think this is the second or third pack that I've gone through, and I want only the blue. I think there's the burgundy was also a color, but I've used all those up. So there's burgundy that comes in this pack. They are the Regal foiled adhesive back dots. So you can see the greens up under there. So we have one on our star. Let's do one here. And then we'll do 3 as part of our star background. And I didn't use a lot of blue, but the stars are blue and the words are blue. So let's see if it, oh look, it held together. So here's this one. And then there are words on the inside of it. I mean, in the set that you could stamp on the inside. I think maybe I did on this one. So you can see this one's a little bit more shimmery because it's had time to dry. So once that glycerin is dry, then you can kind of see it a little bit better. And on this one, I didn't add the little piece here to the gold. But if you have time, I think that really adds a lot of it helps with the whole postage stamp look. So there you go. Come back in a couple of days. If you're interested in joining my team or making a purchase, head to my website and I will have all the details there. If you are on my email list, then you're always up to date. Everybody have a great one. Bye.